Good hand, got Delver in it. Playing against a Zoggoth Triome, probably playing against Niv. Could maybe be another Zoggoth Triome deck, though. Yeah, we did 5-0. It's a Fabled Passage. We fail to flip a Delver. I think I want to play second Delver this turn so I can play Untapped Hall. Could be over-prioritizing that, though. One mana cantrip would be really nice, although I might be playing too much into a sweeper. Probably don't have much choice. Let's just see what we draw. Lofty Denials, maybe best draw. Okay, this is fine. Let's go to Pathway. We did find one mana cantrip too. Place as a red source. Dragon, consider getting for 5. Imra Hill, thank you for 10 months. Appreciate you, buddy. Welcome back. Pour into it lots of shampoo so I can do this. Alright, seeing the name of the next card drawn. Gotta clear the throat. Well, I guess we don't get got by the evens or odd sweeper very badly here. Is that what they have? No, they've got an Omnath. Okay. I thought this was Pioneer. Basic Island! Not my best performance, I guess. This turn, let's go Jegantha in the hand, attack for 5. But next turn, we can maybe go channel Sokenzan plus Strangle the Omnath after they block a 1/1. In Pioneer, they think there's room for Nightpack, Ambusher, and some type of Simic flash deck. Maybe. Maybe not Simic exactly. You might want to reach for a third color, but maybe. Evan, thank you for the 28 months. Appreciate you. Have I auditioned for Hamilton yet? Yeah, not quite yet. Could we ask you to sing in the style of or to the tune to? You can ask. You might not get it, though. So second Strangle is kind of an interesting draw. I think with just a Delver, I'm just gonna go to game 2. I think this matchup gets very good post board, where like the anti-color cards are pretty good against the 5-color deck, and we do admittedly have a lot of like dopey burn spells that have no targets. Yeah, Gust should be able to answer their creatures. I think this is fine configuration. Or was that another redemption? Okay, another seeing next card redemption. Oh, sorry, this is 62 cards. I didn't mean for it to be. And Demonic Tutors 3 months, 6, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Good to see the chat. I'll sing the first card in the left of my hand, so that way I don't have to like draw my hand, pass, and totally forget to sing. Plus in the deck, I think that was pretty good. Probably a bad matchup for this deck, but definitely gets a lot better post board. Fry over Spell Pierce consideration. I think I like the Spell Pierces. Fry really just kills Niv. Delver of Secrets! I got the 2 negates in the sideboard for the strokes. I think it makes sense. Like you miss like hidden strings as like a good negate target, but being able to hit like the Planeswalkers and Cavalier out of mono green is really nice. I think it's better between Grixis Death Shadow and Murktide. I think both are very good. I think that they both have always been very similar in their matchup spread, and I know that that's a really hot topic at the moment, and I would probably still give the edge towards Murktide, but it's close. Any chance? You can find the creativity list on the Stream Decker if you type !Dex. But I'll also, I think, be tweeting it out later. I didn't tweet it last week, but I think I'll just be posting about how I trophied with this deck and that deck, just 2 Izzet decks and Pioneer later today. But, or maybe I'll forget to again. Alright, never flipping a Delver. Well, if they have a Natty Supreme Verdict, good for them. Although maybe now I just Lofty Denial. Playing second Shredder is probably pretty good. So hard for... Yeah, I think I'll play second Shredder and then try to just have Counter Magic up for turn 5 for their Bring to Light turn. I think that makes sense, at least. If they have, like, Deafening Clarion, at least my second Shredder survives. Why isn't Death Shadow seeing as much play? It's actually seeing a lot more play now. Canister recently won a challenge with the Grixis Shadow list. I've been working on, like, a pretty similar list, too. It is seeing a lot more play, like, right now. But for like, post-Loris Band, it's started to see less. I think Dispute is good enough to keep, although maybe we'll loot it away. Yeah, I'd rather have another Lofty Denial. Opt is not bad, but Lofty Denial is just, I think, too good to pass up on here. Guess we'll hold this to loot away, get to attack for a lot in the air. So, yeah, I mean, I guess it's not really a conversation. Like, if they cast Bring to Light here, or they can't even cast Bring to Light X = 5, but you would maybe want to, like, let them cast whatever they got off the Bring to Light to trigger the Shredders, but that's pointless because we're killing them with Shredder. Oh, no, we're not killing them with Shredder anyways. It's only 2 power. Huh. But they're only doing this for 4, so, like, the fact that they can get Verdict just means that we have to counter this front half. And if we draw any spell, we can Lofty Denial it and win the game with the Connive. Although I guess we have to find a spell to Connive away. Seems worth going for, though. Just if there's a spell in the top 2 we win, seems worth it. Oh. Didn't even wait for me to loot, huh? I think on the draw I'll play the Izzet Charm over the first planning. See, no these decks playing 1/2 copies of Fading Hope. Let me reread that card. Oh, the bounce spell? I'm not a big fan. No Fry for Omnath. We have Aether Gust, Mystical Dispute for Omnath. We'd also just fly over it like you saw that game. Okay, I like this hand enough to keep. I think it's good to have turn 1 Delver in this matchup. Or, like, you know, it's obviously good in every matchup to have turn 1 Delver, but I would maybe say, like, very important here. Okay, this turn I think I hold up Counter Magic for Omnath. Although, second Delver is nice because I could dispute an Omnath. Play 1 copy of Fading Hope is good against some of your bad matchups. Like what? Mono red? Okay, flipping the Delvers off of Consider is nice. I think I play the Sprite Dragon to take a turn off the clock and hope the Dispute is good enough for this turn. It's close. That's actually not. I think it plays into, like, Natural Supreme Verdict or, like, them having to, like, removal spell end of turn and to untap, like, Bring to Light too much. Yeah, cool. Just, like, yeah, being able to dispute this is just so nice. You can play Tablet of Guilds if I'm worried about Mono Red. Yeah, I've got 4 Aether Gusts, so I don't think I'm that worried. But yeah, I also, like, haven't seen almost any Mono Red lately, but I'm sure that is somewhat subject to change. Kalida's Cavalier helps. Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like a bit biased against bounce spells in general, but it's probably fine. I do like Vanishing Verse. Obviously these cantrips are good with the Sprite Dragon, but I can't really play the Sprite Dragon unless I find an untapped land anyways. I can keep that, I think, though. I think maybe I can play that. Maybe the Disdainful Stroke is almost definitely going to be good enough for this next turn. Let's say I have like Deafening. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! I meant to play the dragon. Maybe I wait now. I think I'll just miss out on the point of damage. Play it post combat. They just have so many 5-drops that get disputed. And I've already cast 1 dispute too, so it makes some sense for them to not play around it. Also, like, maybe the post-combat Sprite Dragon also makes them play into it more. No! Tulsamir! Alright, this line didn't play very well around natural Tulsamir, huh? Okay, although I'm really happy that they killed Dorat or Delver and not Sprite Dragon, because Sprite Dragon's definitely like the way to win the race. Maybe not correct. Probably not correct the shock here, actually. This doesn't have lifelink, just 3/3. They also lose their wolf like this. Scourge Altars, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. Yeah, Niv usually plays a decent number of basics. Yeah, they are their Fable Passage deck. I may want to just 3-mana Mystical Dispute this. It's close. I think it's probably fine. I think they're unlikely to have second spell here, and I think they're probably just going to have to play into a counterspell next turn too. And I want these disputes to be live. 3 mana. Almighty, Brush Collective for 5 months. I'm probably good to dispute this too. Hopefully they don't have to dispute his last card. They don't. It was so good for me that they didn't kill the Delver. Or they did kill the Delver. Big mistake on their part. Now, if they cast anything into a counterspell, I've got them on a 2-turn clock. Attacking first. We're also in 1-mana Treasure Cruise top deck mode. Well, getting the Spell Pierce this is kind of nuts. Jegantha. I think it's just better to hold up all my mana, but we could Jegantha. Maybe this matchup's not so bad, huh? There's like it's like mono 5-drops against the cheap counterspell deck. Little does my opponent know, I still have all these. I would have loftied 100% with 2 strokes in hand. Oh, you would have loftied you'd have countered back. I didn't want to be him. All right, we are 6-0 on the day with Delver. That's pretty exciting. We can keep this. We actually have like a secret 4 looks at next land or I guess not 4 really, but we can upkeep opt if our top card's not a land. After we get to see it with the Delver, we'll know we'll want to. But I guess it's the same number of looks. A little chat in the deck with Young Pyromancer. I mean, Young Pyromancer's a good card. It's a hero card that everybody loves too. It's also like, ooh, Lucky Witness. It's also like not a flyer for Lofty Denial, which like this deck needs all its creatures to be flyers for Lofty Denial, I think. Okay, let's just play a Shredder this turn, I think. Don't really know what they're doing exactly. Yeah, my threats are Delver, Shredder, Sprite Dragon. All flyers for Lofty Denial, which is pretty important. Not that Delver is always a flyer. Village Rites, Sacking Unlucky Witness. They're not even that likely to find something they can play. Yeah, they hit Obnixilus, Blood Crypt. They've already played their land. They could have done that end of turn too. And now I get to connive? Wow. Thanks, opponent. I guess I'll discard second cruise. I'm always so greedy with the cruises though. Okay, I guess I'll draw that. No, Steam Vents. Slinger, the gifted sub. Thank you, thank you. Why did I choose not to play Stormwing? You can play Stormwing. I haven't really play tested much with it. I know that Prowess likes to play it. It's maybe correct to play. I think I'll kill the Epicure. They are a Village Rites deck. And it could also have discarded Opt here, but I think that I like that I can go Opt into 2-mana Cruise Connive next turn. So I guess deck tech for Slinger was a good chat. I can take a look. Yeah, Stormwing Entity is like definitely is probably the next best threat. Definitely the next best threat. I'm not sure like how many you'd want to play, but you could consider like maybe playing those over the strategic planning is like 2 copies. I think Terramander is probably better than Stormwing. I'm like a huge hater of Terramander, and I think it's really bad with Cruise, but I could be wrong, I guess. But like, yeah, historically, like I really dislike that card. I think that I evaluate it as being pretty weak. Okay, so I guess we'll discard Opt, Pierce to start my turn off with the Cruise. Old Brew for Slinger. Let's take a look. Mardu Knights. Oh man, Knights. I love Knights. I didn't know Olivia was a Knight. I would probably play Force Smitten Swordmaster. Maybe 4 Acclaimed Contender. Like, those feel like are good payoffs, to be honest. Even, like, more so than Blacklands Paragon. I don't really like Blacklands Paragons very much. You probably play it, but I would be playing 4 of these. I think Olivia is probably somewhat weak. Adeline is fine. I think I would cut the Olivias for 4 Acclaimed Contender, and I would probably be cutting the 2 Marches for extra Smitten Swordmaster. You don't need to be playing this many removal spells, probably. Top card is Hall. So those are my initial impressions. I might even want to cut the Dreadbores too, because like you really need to have a lot of I guess I'll probably push the second Shredder. You need to have a lot of synergistic proactive spells in your tribal decks. I don't think you should be playing this many removal spells. I think I would not play either of your either. And so like maybe that's a way to like just keep Olivia in the deck. Like just playing Just Push, Thoughtseize, and Dreadbores too. Okay, Mayhem Devil. But they don't have a cat yet. Can't flip this Delver, unfortunately. Can get in for a bunch in the air. I've got the Lofty Denial up. I'm going to make it to stabilize, though. Down to 6. I like the Fiendslayer Paladins a lot. You may also want to consider the Black Knight in the sideboard for the blue-white control matchup if it's popular, but it's not that popular at the moment. I like the 4 Rest in Peace. Guardian of Faith is okay against blue-white as well. I'd probably play the Black Knight instead. You need sideboard cards for mono green. Mono green's really popular. Probably need to play Burning Hands. Yeah, I don't think it's correct to play like actual no sideboard cards for mono green like this. Maybe Portable Hole is really good against them. I do like that it hits Wolf Haven, but yeah. Violet, thank you for the 9 months. Appreciate you. You can also maybe play, maybe Dreadbore is better than push in your deck too. I could see that. I could see maybe just like when I'm playing no pushes, 4 Dreadbore main or something like that, or 3 Dreadbore. But looks very fun. I like Knights. Good luck. History Finale isn't good enough for Knight decks. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Yeah, I would give it a look too. It's a dead Delver. But if they cast a second spell here and trigger Connive and I hit 2 spells in a row, I have lethal in the air. Just feeling my cruises. I bet they just sacked the food token here. Yeah. Alright. Big draw step. That is a lot of lands in a row. 1 mana short of Hall of the Storm Giants. Get to put my opponent down to 5 effectively. Oh, I can't believe they're just taking it. I guess they may know I don't play any burn spells. Jegantha to me. So we're beating a Kroxa potentially. So they're attacking, which makes my Hall of the Storm Giants better. Yeah, if they escape Kroxa now, I'll just, you know, discard Jegantha, attack with Hall. Obviously, if I knew like my top card was like cheap spell, then where they're obbing, sacking Mayhem Devil. This doesn't do anything. Right? What am I missing? I guess they can sack the they can make a devil token and then they can plus and then they can block the pathway and sack. Okay. So I think I'm just gonna take 2. Oh, they also get to gain life. Okay, this is fine. This is fine for them. Yeah, yeah. Then they get to go up to 10. No, this is okay. Can I draw a spell, please? Okay. So now I get to connive. I think I keep this in hand as a spell to connive away, because I feel like that's pretty important. And I also may need to kill the obs too. Because they get to go up to 10. And leaving the obs alive is just a lot of damage that they, or a lot of life they can gain. Although I guess, I guess they don't have a devil in play anymore. I'll kill the obs. We can take a turn. So they get to go up to 10 life. They don't sack the food token. I can't imagine that that's correct. When they're dead to me conniving 2 counters onto the shredders. Dude, Jegantha's so busted. Dude, just ban Jegantha. That card's so ridiculous. I just like accidentally am not playing any double color cards. I get to win some games like this with a free 5/5. It's so unfair. Okay, bring in the hearses. I think I want to cut probably down to 1 Strangle. So Jegantha is busted. The card is just nasty. I know it sounds funny to say Jegantha's broken, but it's just like not fair that I get free wins like that. You know what I mean? It's just not fair that like I just happen to not be playing any double color cards, and oh whoops, I just get to win a game because I have a free 5/5. You know, maybe I would have won anyways, but probably not. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if this card had like real deck building restrictions, then maybe. We did 5-0 last week. We're 6-0 on the day with Delver. Jegantha Delver. I have Jegantha. Concede. That is true. My precious 15th sideboard slot. I just gonna let us go. Not very well. Doing well with this one though. Beedro with the 4 months, appreciate you. You know, I'm currently building this like a paper. Awesome. I'm liking it too. I think I have to finally buy Riverglide Pathways, which I haven't done. Beedro with the 4 months, thank you. I have no more time to play serious Magic, but I like to watch the stream. Yeah, I relate to that. I like really. I've decided I don't like to play poker, at least like outside of just with friends, but I like to watch it. Because, like, real-life poker, you're sitting around, like, a bunch of, you know, people that don't want to talk to you and have no fun and be totally silent. And then, like, it takes you, like, it could be, like, 30 minutes, hour, 2 hours before you have a playable hand. And then, like, you're done playing almost immediately. But watching poker is great. Watching poker is so good. You get to just, like, they get to edit and go to the cool, fun hands. And just way better. Linda, thank you for 2 months. Appreciate you. Not to play Magic Sport, maybe a little different. Would I play all 4 Lofty Dials before to make next spell pierce? Yes, I would. Lofty Denial is really, really good. But I mean, you should play both. You should definitely play both. But Lofty Denial's, you know, really, really good. Imagine if this, yeah, we were actually playing this win iteration was the goal, but. Okay, they hit another Epicer and a Takanuma. But I think you know, like, I don't know, a lot of Izzet players really dooming and glooming over the iteration ban. Iteration, like, yeah, definitely like a busted card, but it just doesn't. You still have Treasure Cruise Ledger Shredder. You know what I mean? Like, this is just such a good engine that Izzet deck's totally fine. Totally fine. All right. Well, I guess we had a Ledger Shredder, huh? I think I might discard the hearse here. Yeah, Blackjack. Maybe Blackjack's more exciting. Oh, well, punish for discarding the hearse. Well, we can raise a cat. Got creatures with flying, baby. Yeah, maybe the real reason to play strategic planning is this art. It's crazy good. I mean, Izzet Control doesn't have Ledger Shredder? They should play it. Well, I had a Sprite Dragon. In fact, Izzet Control probably just cuts Expressive Iteration for Shredder and is maybe a better deck overall. Yeah. Oh no, Blue-Red Control wants to play Shredder, but how will they fit it with all these expressive iterations in the deck? Okay, I think we just hold up the Gust, and the next turn we can go Sprite Dragon plus Cruise for 1 mana. Should Lotus Combo play Shredder? Shredder's probably like the sickest sideboard plan for Lotus Combo, to be honest. Oh, we didn't hold up the Gust to not cast it on any red spell. They put Witness on the bottom. It's also a little surprising, maybe fine. Like you know, very quietly. Shredder's just like so absurd with the like Delve spell specifically. Like, you know, I've been playing obviously a lot of Izzet decks and Pioneer, and if I had to pick between like Ledger Shredder or Expressive Iteration, like which card printed in the last 2 years was a bigger upgrade for the archetype, like I think it's Ledger Shredder, and it's always weird when you think like one card is like this card's stronger in the archetype, and they ban the other one instead, but like they're obviously like the reason Shredder's so good is because it just fuels the graveyard so quickly for Cruise and can loot away extra cruises early. While also just being like the best threat in the format. Yeah. It's probably time to unban Smuggler's Copter. I think I'm on board with that. Yeah, I actually think Copter would be just fine. Thinking that's probably better for Separate Plan? Yeah, maybe. Behind Leyline of Abundance. Yeah, right, dude. What I like about Traders is obviously broken. Yeah, that's true. Like, I think it is a well-designed card. It's like super push for constructed, but you know, it is, you know, 2 mana 1/3 flyer, gets pushed pretty hard. Has deck building restrictions. Although not you know, deck building restrictions of building your deck correctly. I really don't want Inverter unbanned. I know that there is definitely the unbanned Inverter Cabal. I am not a member of the Cabal. Is that the unbanned Twin of Pioneer? I feel like not really. I don't know. Like, at least you could you know, interact with Twin with like removal spells that most decks were playing. Have some crazy blowouts against Twin. But like Inverter was just like such a nasty dig through time Thoughtseize combo deck that was really resilient to removal. It was just like really gross combination. Okay, we are 7-0 on the day with Delver of Secrets. 7-0. I'll have faith in the Consider here. Yeah, like I don't know, like Field at the beginning with I think Field with Hour of Promise, is that the green one, the green hour? Like that felt like at the beginning of Pioneer that was too much. Maybe that's not the case anymore. Maybe it would be actually like totally fine against like mono green, the Izzet decks. Like maybe it would be a fine unban, but I remember it being like really formidable back in the day. Like when Field was legal, the Hour of Promise field decks were like easily the best of the format. It was like really unreal. But like I guess it is true. Like a lot of the top decks of the format would probably have okay matchups against those style decks. So maybe. And also like Smuggler's Copter is okay, is kind of good against Field 2 because it is flying, huh? Okay, this is I think the matchup I'm kind of worried about as Delver. I think you're probably not super favored against Phoenix, but maybe I could be wrong. Yeah, but Seiju being in the format maybe is just another answer to Field. Think about unbanning Ballista and banning Heliod since Heliod doesn't see any play. I think that would be fine, yeah. I think it should have been Heliod the first time around too. So they're playing a Thing in the Eyes. Here they put Strangle Treasure Cruise in their hand, so hopefully we can Lofty Denial the Cruise, huh? I bet next turn my opponent lets me Connive. I was hoping to hit a land here, though. Blissa the mono green deck. I mean, Blissa has been in the mono green deck before. Yeah, I guess like yeah, I'm not saying right now they should unban Ballista, ban Heliod, but it just should have been that the first time. Probably fine to leave it banned for now. Okay, so we finally get to Connive. Guess we'll discard Second Cruise, Strangle probably. Alright, a lot more red removal. I'm gonna bring the Standing Dust down too. Hold on, stand by. Now I kinda wish I had that Second Cruise. Maybe I'm actually supposed to Lofty Denial this turn and start next turn off with the Cruise. I think that probably is true. Fiery Impulse plus Lofty Denial, Connive. Wouldn't Saheeli Cat combo be safe in the format right now? I don't know. See, so like my memory of My memory of the Pioneer format was week 1, or like the very beginning, the Healy Cat decks were the best in the format, followed by Field of the Dead. And obviously, like, there were a few more bannings along the way, but in the process of banning these cards, like, the format kind of mellowed out, and there was like a pretty interesting and dynamic metagame with like a lot of like change and a lot of give and take that we like haven't really seen in a while, but we saw for a little bit there. Okay, I think now I'm gonna go Sprite Dragon Cruise. I really want to keep as much pressure going, but I should probably just discard the Pathway over the Lofty Denial. Ooh, is a Charm brutal. Really, really tough to get charmed there. You get to attack our opponent for a bunch. Maybe they trigger Connive for me again, but I feel like we're going to lose game 1 here. Well, Lightning Axe? No, Chart of Course. Play with Fire is kind of interesting. Strangle too. I feel like I've been liking Fiery Impulse a lot, but maybe Strangle's better against the mono green meta. Pretty easy discard Delver. Nice to get my Shredder to 5 or 6 toughness 2 out of Lightning Axe range. Isn't Chart better than Planning? Maybe. Maybe. Planning fills the grave more. Chart has the potential to be draw 2. It's probably worth testing. I think the 2 cards are like super close, and they probably play like almost the same. Well, that Shredder was pretty good, huh? Just maybe not good enough. Opponent is at 8. Okay, so I can't counter that with Lofty Denial. We also have an Otawara to bounce that potentially down the line. Although I think I'm down to counter this Otawara. My opponent only has 1 card in their hand. They're also like have enough mana to pay. So and if I can get 1 more counter on this, the Sprite Dragon, then I can start attacking through the Phoenix. Okay, so yeah, let's go Impulse this. Technical 2-turn clock. Obviously, if they flip their thing in the ice, we probably lose. But just need them to have lands, I guess. Lands and thing in the ices. Pieces, so they need to have 2 cheap spells off the pieces. Pretty easy for them to find. They hit Galvanic Iteration, Temporal Trespass Opt, so they can take Iteration Opt, flip thing in the ice. Ugh, brutal. Is the red removal a reason to be red? Because it feels like mono blue Delver is almost there. I mean, Sprite Dragon is like amazing. It doesn't cost you much to splash a color. And you need removal, yeah. Okay, game 2. If Nykthos was a real problem, shouldn't there be more takes on it than just mono green? I think that argument doesn't make any sense. Like, you know, there's only 1 Winota deck. Winota's pretty musted. Yeah, I don't think that argument holds much water, to be honest. I guess I should bring in Fry. Yeah, I may just be on Fry and not much removal beyond that. Maybe I should be playing like a couple of Fiery Impulses. 4 Shredder Phoenixes. Why did I concede? My opponent's... I was dead on board. My opponent was taking an extra turn, flipping thing in the ice, thing attacking with Hall of the Storm Giants. I was dead on board. Yeah, there's only 1 Inverted Truth deck. If I want to play a similar deck to this in Modern, what would I recommend? Yeah, there's actually a pretty similar deck to this in Modern. It's a little bit of an under-the-radar hero deck. I usually like to call it, oh, hold on. do I not have an Is It Merc deck list? Yeah, is it Murktide? Is it Shredder Tide, perhaps? You know, instead of Treasure Cruise, you have Expressive Iteration, same card. You get to play Shredder, you get to play Counterspell instead of Lofty Denial, you get to play Murktide Region instead of Sprite Dragon, Ragavan, Channeler instead of Delver of Secrets, Lightning Bolt, Unholy Heat instead of Strangle, Fiery Impulse. Just like a rogue hero deck. Don't get Jegantha either. Big nerf. Marcus, thank you for 19 months. Appreciate you. This is Murktide this one this weekend. 0 DRC. Yeah, I mean, this is like not super surprising. Like, we've kind of established that it's okay. You can basically build the Murktide deck with any combination of the creature suites. Any combination of Shredder, Ragavan, DRC, Murktide is kind of fine as long as you maintain like 12 to 15 creatures max. Probably no more than 14 though. This is, you know, just kind of been the case for a little while now. Could Spell Pierce this, but I kind of want to save Spell Pierce for pieces of the puzzle, potentially. People have been trying to do OZC because you kind of post-board in several matchups. Yeah, a lot of people, that's also like a sideboard plan I think that most Murktide players have that I didn't. Like, I feel like I just didn't cut it that often. I cut it sometimes. Obviously, sometimes. Basically screaming that I've got more cruises in my hand by discarding one here. Blue-black version with Indulgence, Thoughtseize, etc. You could do that, yeah. You could do that. Although Sprite, like, I guess you like losing Sprite Dragon's huge. Sprite Dragon's like is definitely a big part of the reason to play this this version. Yeah, even Heart Dropper is a card that's interesting. I've kind of tried to mess around with it a little bit. I keep needing to do Modern Blue-Black Shadow actually with Modern Blue-Black Shadow with the Aven Heartstopper, but or not sorry, the cycle card, not the blue-black one. I know it's interesting. Okay, so let's go Sprite Dragon into. I think actually just hold up Lofty Denial, Spell Pierce this turn. Think Delver over be good again in Modern? I mean, it's hard to imagine Delver being like significantly better than other threats in the Murktide deck. That being said, I guess if they were to just like, if they just like banned Ragavan, then Delver would be playable again. What does Jund need to become relevant again? If you're talking about in Modern, Jund is currently relevant. It's not the best deck in the format, but it is viable. It got 2 copies in the top 4 of DreamHack. It is not going to top 8 every event, but it is relevant. Yeah, a lot of people do that, Jacob. Are there any Simic decks in Pioneer? I would say like the closest to a Simic deck is probably Lotus Field Combo. That deck's mostly Simic. Okay, opponent's got 2 cards in their hand. Oh, need to play my Hall. See if they can refuel. They pieces into Treasure Cruise, Fire Impulse, Consider. They maybe hold the cruise for. Oh, I guess they know I don't have a 1-mana counter because I didn't counter back last turn. Dude, every time this card gets put on the stack, I'm just like, why did they ban Iteration and not Cruise? It was just wrong, I think. It was just not the right call. Yeah, I really am not a fan of the identity of the format argument. Like, yeah, where else will we play our busted devil spells? It just doesn't resonate with me very well, but I know it does with some people. I think better to hold up Dispute than to play Delver. It would have been fine to play Delver, though. Kind of late on the hearse, but probably still impactful. Okay, we can let that resolve. We have the Fry for it. I have a Fry for my Sprite Dragon. You can't just X Cruise, not the other two. The other two being Iteration Dig Through Time or Iteration Temporal Trespass. Because I think leaving Trespass is fine. Because it's like not this crazy top deck that can get you out of any spot. I think they should have banned Cruise Dig instead of Iteration. I think that Wizards correctly identified that there was a problem with leaving Iteration and the Delve spells legal together, and like also like quietly, I feel like quietly Ledger Shredder was part of like why this combination is so good too, or maybe not so quietly. Dig Through Time and Trespass. I think leaving Trespass legal is fine because like the problem with Cruise is like no matter like how much you interact with your opponent, like unless you're interacting with the graveyard, if you can top deck Cruise and get out of a situation. Trespass isn't like a crazy top deck. It can be if you're already really ahead. I could be wrong too. I could be wrong. Also, like Trespass is like only in Phoenix 2. Cruise and Dig go in like a lot more shells. I think I just have to get this countered. They basically officially sanctioned Delve spells as a Pillar Pioneer. Was the expressive hit not enough? Well, again, like the big issue I have is that every time I cast Treasure Cruise, it just feels like they banned the wrong card. Like if you're like banning the less powerful draw spell, because it is a format identity card, it's just like not the kind of philosophy I would like to see enacted in the format. Obviously, everybody's got their opinions. But just every time I cast Cruise, I feel like they banned the wrong card. Not that Iteration wasn't also like pretty sicko. Alright, hit my opponent for 10 down to 6. Just a better philosophy. Do I think brainstorming Legacy Rule is fine? Yeah, I do think it's fine, and I think that's maybe because my philosophy is not that consistent, but it's also like really different, right? Where like Legacy and Pioneer are drastically different formats, right? Where Legacy has a 30-year-long identity, Brainstorm being a huge part of this. Pioneer is like still a relatively new format, and a format that, you know, Wizards could make whatever they could. This format could be whatever Wizards wants it to be. It doesn't have to be revolved around the Delve spells, and I think that they're different enough that it doesn't feel hypocritical of me to want them legal in this format and not, or you know, be fine with Treasure Cruise being legal in Legacy and not be fine with the Delve spells in Pioneer, but Legacy is also like, you know, the kind of format you go to. Legacy is a format with turn 1 combos, and you know, Legacy is the format to do broken things to some extent, like to play your most powerful cards. Pioneer Pro Tour format, very competitive format. I think should be, you know, more focused on balance rather than like identity cards too. I think it makes more sense to me for Legacy to be more about identity cards, Pioneer to be more about like, you know, standard legal sets, no fetch lands, no 0-mana interactive spells, balanced. But again, it's also the thing. Everybody wants Pioneer to be something else. Because Pioneer is so new and Pioneer is still being shaped and molded, everybody just has a different idea of like what Pioneer should be. This isn't the official Magic the Gathering app what I'm using. This is Magic the Gathering Online, which has been around longer than Arena, and you get to play older formats too. On Arena, there's Explorer, but this is the real version of Explorer, Pioneer. I think they're just trying stuff by changing mine afterwards. Yeah, I think so too. I think that's That's accurate. You're fried. Braid the hearse. Well, I can't dispute that. I guess I might as well tap this, but barely gonna make a dent. Now they've got 2 cards left. I can haul the Storm Giants, make them kill the Phoenix, but maybe they get to bring the Phoenix back. Playing the 5/5 is better if they were at 1 lower life than they are. But I think I'll just haul. See your point, helps understand the argument. Yeah, for sure. Again, everybody, it's okay that everybody has a different opinion on what a format should be. That's totally fine. This is just my perspective. Yeah. And again, if you feel like this is how the Wizards should approach the format, that's fine too. If you like the Dial spells being legal, you are valid. My opinion is not more valid than yours. Call. Alright, so I think I'm only playing 2 Fiery Impulse, but that is a lethal top deck. Fiery Impulse, I summon you! I mean, we gone 35 cards without seeing it. I get to go to game 3 when Streak's still maybe alive. They brought in Crackling Drake, which is pretty scary. It seems like post-board their creature suite is Crackling Drake, Arclight Phoenix, Shredder. So I wonder if I should be playing some Gusts. Maybe you cut 1 is a Charm, 1 Impulse, play 2 Gust. Nervous game 3. I am. I think this matchup is probably one of the worst ones. Did I see the Energy Phoenixes? I actually didn't see it. Like I was a groomsman at a wedding over the weekend, so that was most of my weekend was spending time with friends rather than being tuned in. But I got to, you know, see results on Twitter and stuff to some extent. Friends of the channel, Titty Pills and Zach Allen, both top 8 at the Modern Energy, which is really cool. Thank you, Poopy. I try. I try to answer questions as thoughtfully as I can, but I'm also sometimes big dumb. Definitely want to keep a hand with Hearse, best card of the matchup. I know we only have 1 land, but we also have 2 cantrips. Resolve, and find land. I think I want to hold up Spell Pierce / Consider, because Pieces of the Puzzles is just kind of nasty here. See, Mono Red Aether Grid did well last week. I didn't see someone play that list. I do like it though. The modern control deck, do you think Hall is better than Castle, or the 2 not comparable? I mean, it just kind of depends on exactly the list, but I think in general I prefer to play Hall, but it kind of depends on your win conditions. Are you playing Wilderness Reclamation? Everything in Magic always depends, you know. Alright, found the lands, thankfully. And then I think Hearse plus Spell Pierce up is fine. If they have their own Pierce, it's rough. But if they have Negate or Dispute, I can Pierce back. It seems like they don't have either. And then I guess they could have a Braid, so I want to hold up the Pierce for that too. They showed us a Braid. Oh yeah, Zach also top 8 at the Pioneer one too. Yeah, Zach is going crazy. I teamed up with Zach when I played the Energy event in Chicago. Okay, Crackling Drake's scary, but I do have Fry. Maneuvering this turn is going to be kind of tricky. I actually kind of feel like I just want to go Delver, Sprite Dragon, hold up Spell Pierce. Like I can take a little hit from this Crackling Drake, or maybe a big hit, but I'll be able to answer with the Fry at some point. So like doing this like maybe makes them think that they can race. They probably can't race. I think instead could run Dreadhorde Arcanist. So back when Iteration was legal, we were playing a little bit of this deck. Blue-Red Wizards, which is playing Wizards Retort and Wizards Lightning, and then Delver, Storm Chaser Mages, other legal wizards. And I think that like you can like if you're gonna play Dreadhorde Arcanist, you need to be playing Retort Lightning and not Lofty Denial, and then there are going to be some decks that play Lofty Denial that get to play all flyers, and so that's just going to be the two different axes you're going to build these decks on. And I will also say that this is likely the best version too. Well, maybe with double removal spell my opponent can raise. Although I'm still hearsing them. I have the Fry. We're doing okay. Opponent played around Spell Pierce pretty well. I wonder if I telegraphed it. How good do you think Blue, White, and Pioneer is? I think it's probably fine. I would recommend packing a lot of Farewells, because that card I think is the best way to beat Mono Green. Do I think it would be the best color combination of Pioneer without Iteration Cruise Dig? What iterations? Yeah, without that combination of Delve Spells and or Iteration, yeah. I think I'm gonna buy myself another turn with the Hearse. It's kind of close. Okay, well at least I get to exile 2 cards with the Hearse this time. Opponent's been playing around the Spell Pierce very well. Shredder would be a good draw. Cruise would be a great draw. Just a Sprite Dragon. Maybe opt into one of these cards. Definitely bottom that. And I guess we pass back. Maybe I should Jegantha here, actually. Yeah, I think holding up the Censor is probably not that relevant. Maybe you should be ready to eat those words, but 5 mana 5/5. I think it's time. Yeah, I could have double counted that maybe. Well, they just hit opt Fiery Impulse. Oh, sorry. Clicked the wrong cards. Okay, definitely play this to turn on the Lofty Denial, and then I can Spell Pierce the Fiery Impulse. Like, surely they'll Fiery Impulse into the Spell Pierce, right? I don't know, maybe not. Maybe if you're like this committed to playing around it, it's fine. Oh, well. Good beats. Is Mardu Esper Greasewing better? I think Esper is, but like your card quality in the Esper version is so much higher. You put a card on top, it's kind of scary. Okay, so I don't think that tapping the Hearse now makes sense because they can still cruise for 1 mana. I want to hold this up for Phoenix. Yeah, I think they topped cruise off opt and they just didn't want to play into like the permission to. Opponents played this very well. Yeah, Fry is uncounterable. I kind of want to play a third Fry. Fry's been really good. Just playing around perfectly in my hand. So brutal. What did they reveal here? The second Cruise, and then Is a Charm, and Charter Course. Okay, that being said, okay, wait, they didn't put Cruise into their hand? How did they not put Ancestral Recall in their hand here? They even pay for Pierce too. That's kind of weird. I think it's good for me. I finally draw my own Ancestral Recall. Rex and the Laments, appreciate you. What is Fry good against? Narset, Crackling Drake, Teferi, Niv Mizzet. Oh, Niv's not that common anymore. I feel like I'm kind of missing a big one or two, actually. I don't think... I guess I have a Fiery Impulse. Yeah, they must have they probably have another Delve spell in hand, so I'll go ahead and tap this. If they're gonna not take the cruise, I should probably play around it. Maybe I should upkeep it. Okay. Thankfully I didn't like graveyard a Phoenix here. But it also has like only a little over 5 minutes on their clock. It's a bit aggressive, but I think I like Impulse plus Pierce this, and then Connive to save the Shredder. Okay, just doesn't pay. Okay, so this is dying no matter what, so I'll just discard the Canal. So they mill over a Phoenix. Dude, I got to spell pierce something? Okay, it's fine. Yeah, I got a spoiler card from Double Master. I got 2 actually. I'm pretty excited. Okay, only 1 Phoenix though. Thankfully they don't have Hall of the Storm Giants. Pretty good turn, because leave the hearse up for the Phoenix. I feel like my day is the 19th. I can't remember for sure. I have to have Esther make another PowerPoint for the spoiler. So they do have Hall of the Storm Giants now, and I'm at 6. Hopefully flip a recall. Just an island. And they know I don't have an instant or sorcery too. I think I just don't attack. That's 17. Like, I think I'm actually like either winning. I think I'm winning either with the decking themselves, like, or like that they time out potentially, but. Alright, now I lose my blocker for the Hall, unfortunately. Is the 2 a Braid? I think so. I think this could be playing a Braid in the Hearst metagame. Come on, Treasure Cruise. There's Shocks and Steam Vents. Okay, I can maybe trade Halls now. If I was going to draw a land, definitely that one. Did the 2 removal spells. There's 1. One card on top. 13 cards in library for opponent. Guess that's plenty, probably. Find Aether Gust. Oh, does Spell Pierce do it? Yeah, if I Spell Pierce this, then they can't activate the Hall. So I guess that's good enough for me. Get to mill a card. It's gonna have me chump with the Shredder instead of not attacking for no reason. Exciting match. It'll be a long stream today. Okay, I can still haul on defense and cast the Opt here. I guess that's a keep. 2 minutes, 20 seconds on their clock. I'll concede if I'm 0% to win, of course, but they also only have 12 cards in their library. They've used a lot of their threats. What? Wait, this is... Oh no, what? I just miscounted. Fuck. Sorry, chat. I really thought I wanted more mana. Yeah, I needed to wait on the opt. And our win streak, our 7-0 win streak comes to an end. Sorry, 5-0 believers. Oh, man. Right, turn on Fatal Push, pretty good for them. Oh. So we played the red-black matchup before. We did win, although it didn't seem like we were that favored, and my opponent definitely made a few mistakes. Trespasser, probably Exile Shredder. Another removal spell for this would be nice. And there we go, Wish Granted. I guess we take Consider over Shredder here. Get this out of Chandra range. I think I'll discard Hall at this point in the game. Could Mono Black aggro be rebirthed since Winota's gone? I think that they would need a Smuggler's Copter unban for me to be super interested in Mono Black again. But maybe. Is there a Cyborg guide for Esper Food list? I did one for Dimir Food. I'll update it for Esper Food at some point, but I didn't want to just have another, like, very, very small update guide for Channel Fireball, especially when there's so much other stuff to cover. What I'm digging for Fatal Push looks like. Cruise, 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 cruise. Maybe we'll just learn to love the cruise, huh? So I get to counterspell this turn, and then draw any non-creature spell next turn that's lethal. Yeah, it looks like the Inverter Cabal is out in full force today, huh? All the Inverter unbanned advocates. There's no way I counter this. So my opinion, still save Mono Black card list. Still too slow to just have a weak sideboard. I think I like the Reanimator variant more than I like the Karn version at the moment. All right, any non-creature spell, lethal off the top. I think I'll just counter the Trespasser. Or a Sprite Dragon. Not that one, though. I get to put my opponent to 1. They need to top deck an answer to the Sprite Dragon. I couldn't have Lofty Denialed Push anyways. Could have maybe Lofty Denialed Dreadbore. Why was Copter banned? The no specific card, specific reason. There was like a couple of different Copter aggro decks that had really high win percentages, but maybe they shouldn't have been banned. So they must have drawn Push. It's kind of brutal. So I think Sprite Dragon's my only lethal top deck. Could maybe have been better to discard Jegantha too. Not sure. I guess playing this means I have to chump block the Kroxa too because they have Hive. I think Copter would be like a totally fine Pioneer unban. I also think Bridge from Below would be a pretty good Modern unban. Like Bridge should never have been banned in the first place. Like it was just like a joke that they banned Bridge and not Hogak / looting. So I'm a pretty big advocate for Bridge unban. I have been for a while. Or Bridge add to the format. I think that the format is actually... I think Modern is actually in need of like more linear graveyard strategies being good. That's the first time I've said that in a long time, but more linear graveyard strategies being good would help bring the 4-color Omnath deck down a little bit. I also don't even think Bridge would be that good. Like Bridge was like not very good before Hogak. Like they're like you know what I mean? Like having the Hogak looting Bridge combo was like why, like, or the altar combo was like why, like Bridge was like particularly good then. I don't even think it would be very competitive now. But given like Dredge like wouldn't play it. Dredge is good against Omnath, yeah, but it's just not that common. You know what I mean? But I do think that linear graveyard decks need some buff to Modern. I think Bridge would be a nice like small addition. I guess if I don't block and I cruise into 2 draw spells, I win. Obviously, if they have like another Croaks, I lose. But so I cruise into 2 removal spells, I could win. So I think this is probably better to not block. Maybe they just have too many ways to kill me. But that's not one of them. Yeah, Trespasser also could speedboat. Yeah, maybe blocking's better. Okay. I'm drawing very thin no matter what, though. Oh yeah, Bridge from Below is also like probably garbage too because of the all the incarnations, right? Yeah, I think Denial's like, I think this is the one matchup where I really don't like Denial. They'll keep the strategic plannings in though. Oh no, sorry, I keep doing this. I keep like not cutting Strangles. Oh, I don't have the negates anymore either. I guess we'll just max out on Gust. Maybe 1 Denial is better than Gust 4. Probably believe that. There's been some cool like blue-black Soulfire lists that look kind of cool. Maybe one day I'll play it. Strangle is better than Impulse versus red-black. I guess they have Planeswalkers, but like Impulse killing their man lands at instant speed is really relevant, and like just like being able to kill their threat at instant speed and not have to use mana on your turn is also pretty relevant. Yeah. Alright, on the play. Pretty good hand, gonna keep this. Is Flame Blessed Bolt any good? Well, that card doesn't deal 3 damage, so I think in this like Ledger Shredder format, you basically want all of your removal spells to deal 3. I think I'm gonna wait on the Shredder to go Shredder plus Spell Pierce up. I think that makes some sense to me. Okay, happy that they just cast the Croxa here. I wish there was like one more way for the red-black deck to discard Croxa. I think that would be a big upgrade for the red-black deck. We do get to flip the Delver. We flip it with Consider. And so if I don't cast the Spell Pierce, it's a pretty big towel that I have it, but I think that's fine. Like being able to stop Fable or Dreadbore here I think is good enough to not cast the Consider. Yeah, someone asked this earlier, how much would Cruise have to be dealt for it to be fine for Modern? I think my answer is 15. And Black-Red, I board out Croaks all the time anyways. Yeah, I know some people think that Croaks is bad, too. Could be. Yeah, I thought they might have a push. I kind of wanted to consider in response, looking for a, another counterspell. Didn't find one. Gold Delver, go. Jegantha, it's all up to you. Mostly up to you, maybe. Alright, Sprite Dragon. It's at 3 cards in hand, down to 9 life. Have I filled with the Delver? I really wish there was a I don't think there's a non-black and white version of it, but I think it would look better if it wasn't black and white. Oh, this one's pretty good. Oh, there is a non-black and white version? Oh, awesome. This one's way better. Okay, next time I play a deck, I'll play this one. I didn't see it earlier this morning. Dude, like the lightning on the wings, that's awesome. They have Dreadbore, 3 cards still. Untapped Haunted Ridge. Play a Dopey Delver. How much your Cruise cost in Pioneer? Maybe like 10. They're just Den of the Bugbear? Wow. What is in their hand if they're denning this turn? Go Blank, Thoughtseize. Tapland's such a bad draw here. It's so embarrassingly bad. So many good top decks. They're 1 card short of Croxa. Yeah, maybe they're playing Invoke Despair. I used to play that card. I think it's fine. Trespasser's pretty good here. Hit me down to 12. This doesn't have Menace. I can Jegantha block this turn. Love to flip the Delver with like a cantrip though. Like a cantrip, Treasure Cruise. My graveyard has been sufficiently hated though. So see if they drew a removal spell, but I think they drew the Trespasser this turn. There's been a 1-mana invoke. Yeah, I think I was trying 4 a little while ago. Because like invokes are just kind of so good to chain into each other too, but kind of awkward on the curve. But it's a card I like. What is this? Takanuma, wow. So they can get back Graveyard Trespasser, Kalidas, or Kroxa. They can go play Escape Kroxa. But none of these beat my Delver. One man, one side. Yeah, some number is pretty good, I think. Yeah, Wizards would right to ban Iteration instead. Graveyard gains life. Yeah, but I still have 4 points of flying in the air. How's the Spirits matchup? I think it's pretty good. Like, you have a bunch of Disputes and Fries in the sideboard. You have a lot of 1-mana removal spells. Shredder's pretty good in Spirits, too. Okay, second Graveyard Trespasser to gain another life. And then they can Kroxa, discard my Cruise. They're dead to any castable 1-mana or non-creature spell or a Sprite Dragon. Like I'm completely undervaluing Shredder. Should be in a list that can use it, or just that good of a 2-drop in every general deck. Well, you have to be playing a low mana curve. You have to be playing like a tempo strategy, or decks that are playing low mana curve with cards they want to discard. But in those shells, it's just very, very good. It's not quite Tarmogoyf that it just has like almost no restrictions. Okay, going to game 3. I feel like I may need more cards for this matchup. I also keep trimming Lofty Denial, but maybe Denial is good just like counter the Mind Rot, and then it also protects your creatures. Gust is kind of medium too. Should we have not blocked so they'd have to exile Kroxa to gain life? I guess I just didn't read what them attacking meant. I didn't read that them attacking meant they had a second Trespasser. And like maybe it means something else too, but I think if you are able to make that read, then that's probably fine. Can really feel the absence of iteration. Yeah, maybe this is the matchup that like you really feel it. We're also, you know, 7 and 1 on the day. I think I bottomed this. I really want to draw the land. I have another consider. Kind of greedy to bottom that, but I think it's fine. They probably have removal here, and I could spell Pierce, Fable, so I think I'm gonna hold up. Let's Pierce here. I can also Impulse a Graveyard Trespasser. We discard Strangle. Let's play the Delver this turn. I'm kind of scared of the Mind Rot. And then maybe we get to flip and have Denial up. Trespasser's so good. This card's just like perfect Pioneer power level. Big hit. Alright, can't pierce that. Bummer. Yeah, I feel like just holding up Censor is not that good. I'll play the Hearse, but I'm feeling like we're in really bad shape now. Okay, I can Strangle the Bone Crusher Giant. Only get to exile 1 card with the Hearse, though. Yeah, I guess we go Strangle, and then we can hold up the Impulse for the Den of the Bugbear or the Hive. Hopefully they're on one of those. Maybe we could draw Treasure Cruise. Talked also Rakdos Anvil with the meta where it is. I've been losing to mono green as Rakdos Anvil way more than I was before, which is weird because like basically nothing has changed. I don't really know why. I have been losing more against it, and I guess I'm having a hard time evaluating it. But it is a deck I've liked a lot historically. It's, you know, maybe like a combination of good variants in the past, bad variants now, but it's still a deck I also have a soft spot for. Okay, I think if we don't draw Cruise off the top, like this turn, we're gonna have a really hard time. Can I exile the cards to try and exile with hers? I can. Maybe I should have there. Yeah, maybe Stronger Pilots picked it up, where people got more used to sequencing. Because sequencing, like, I do think took some time to learn from mono green. And the reality is it's, like, just kind of likely a combination of all these things, rather than, oh, dude, they got the Trespasser back. Brutal. And killed the hearse. Shredder's not too bad, but we're probably toast here. We had a really long league. It's the longest stream I've done in a while, but that's fine. That's fine. How's the deck playing? We trophied our first league. We actually won our first 7 matches. Then we lost a really long, grindy match to Phoenix that I punted at the end of. And I think we're going to lose this game to Red-Black. Red-Black may be this deck's bad matchup. I'm not sure. I think we're going to be 1-1 against Red-Black on the day. And this opponent seems to definitely be playing a lot tighter than our first opponent. That being said, like, you know, every time you play this deck and you stumble a little bit, you can always just still draw Cruise and get out of some really hairy spots. But I think if I don't draw Cruise, like literally this draw step, I'll concede. Winged Words. One less if you control creature flying, draw 2. How have I never seen that card? It's also just divination. We'll look in the 6-lander. Keep this one. I think I'm going to put back Lofty Denial. And I may even just not cast a Consider turn 1 because of the Sprite Dragons. I think that at the very least the next time I play this deck, I'll play Winged Words, and then I also maybe wanted to play like the 3rd Fry in the sideboard. I guess holding Consider is worse against Thoughtseize. Or playing tap land here, but that's gonna be fine. They take the Sprite Dragon. Conceal Courtyard Thoughtseize is probably a Greasefang deck, right? Being worse seems worse than Charter Course, maybe. Yeah, no, you're right. Charter Course is just better because, like, if you have a flying creature in play, yeah, like the Winged Words is only better with a summoning sick. With a summoning sick flying creature, yeah, we'll just play Charter Course, I think, instead. It's probably better than Strategic Planning. That makes sense. Okay, upkeep, Delver Trigger. Fire Impulse is amazing flip here. Kill the Shredder. Maybe find a land. Do find a land. Yeah, no, I think you just play Charter Course. I think I still like the 1 Izzet Charm, the 1 of Izzet Charm. Although, it could be good to maybe play 3 Spell Pierces. 3 Spell Pierces, 2 Charter Course. Kind of see that being good. Like with Charter Course having like more card draw, it kind of makes more sense to me to play more 1 mana spells. I'll mess with it some more later, but I'll just do this real quick. Okay, they have their own Fatal Push. Yeah, chart also probably improves the black-red matchup like marginally too. Just maybe two mana draw 2 is nice. Okay, you can keep that. Not the best top deck ever, but if we draw a land, we do have Flying Creature for Lofty Denial. So they're gonna Indulgence there. Parhealing into the yard. We did draw the land. They have 12 life 2. We have a perfect pet. I can't remember if they knew about this Lofty Denial or not. I guess you can look at the revealed cards. Yeah, they did know about it, so they must have second Greasefang. So I'm going to not put Jegantha in my hand and not play my land to maybe let them play around something, but... Yeah, well played, well played. Or they're bad. Yeah, this is something that... I think this is something that happens pretty often, is that like your opponent will make a mistake that... Or they'll make a play that you could perceive as a mistake, right? And then I think that a lot of people's... I think you should basically always assume the best of your opponents rather than just assume that they're making a mistake. Since if your opponents are playing poorly and they're making a lot of mistakes, you're going to win anyways. So like, I think you should try to always give them the benefit of the doubt and try to like crack the code on why they're doing what they're doing. I think I like 3 Impulse, 2 Fry, no Is It Charm. Seems kind of fine. How do I feel about 4-color taking 3/4 and Energy 10k? I mean, I hate the 4-color deck as much as everybody else. You know, the energy events are not like as big or as competitive as like a lot of paper tournaments. They're competitive events. They're, you know, reasonably sized too. It also, like, my experience like playing a lot of paper Magic has been that like the 4-color decks seem to be so well positioned in paper because there's like a disproportionate amount of like Murktide and Hammer Time and Control, which are like 3 decks I think people really gravitate to in paper, like at least more so than they do on Magic Online. Like on Magic Online, I feel like there are more linear decks. There's more like people trying to metagame a little bit more against the 4-color deck, if that makes sense. It's not huge differences, but just small ones. So like I do feel like that the 4-color deck has been like a little bit better positioned in paper than Magic Online lately. The deck is also like absolutely tier 1. It's a tier 1 deck in Modern, and any given weekend, you know, you could see 3 copies of a tier 1 deck in the top 8 of a tournament. But I'm also like pretty sick of the 4-color deck. I think the gameplay is not that good. People want to play faster matches online. There's more linear decks for that reason. That actually makes a lot of sense. I think people tend to gravitate more towards linear decks online and more towards non-linear off Magic Online. Is Wandering Mind too slow? Yeah, I don't think you want to raise your curve with Wandering Mind. Why do you think that? Well, it's just kind of easier to like relax and like grind the same deck that's more linear on Magic Online. And then paper, like people like you know, paper Magic is just the best thing ever. It's super duper fun, and people are a bit more interested, I think, in playing long interactive decks where they get to make a lot of decisions. Where like a Magic Online, you're playing an interactive deck like this, and you don't get to F6. You have to hold up mana on your opponent's turn. Again, like, you know, these are just like small tendencies rather than like huge sweeping sweeping differences. But I do think that Magic Online skews more linear and paper skews more non-linear. What do you think is a problem? Yorion Ren in 6 iteration? I don't know, dude. I think that banning iteration would be like a mistake where, like, the 4-color deck I think is just is still like super grindy and still like like, you know, I like would be fine losing iteration. You just like you have a million other options you can play. Ren in 6 is probably the most powerful card, and then I don't know. I think you could make a really good argument for banning a lot of different cards. You can make a good argument for Omnath. You can make a good argument for Renin 6, Abundant Growth, Yorion, Teferi, Time Raveler, Iteration. And I think that you probably should only ban like one thing if you want to ban something. Wizards also says that at least on Magic Online, like the 4-color control deck is like always hovering around a 50% win rate. Although it's hard to not think about Inverter and how Inverter was banned when it had like a like around 50% win rate or something, like or like 49% or something like that. Yeah, there is an ELO system on Magic Online, but it's not used for anything. You're paired against people in Magic Online based on your record, not in that exact league, not based on your ELO. Yeah, Go Blink is so good against these Izzet decks. So they play another spell this turn. I do get to Connive. But now they get to Thoughtseize my Fry. Maybe I should discard a Jegantha over Cruise. It's like somewhat close. I really hope we don't go 7-0 into 7-3, although maybe the variance corrects itself a little bit. Maybe I'm not playing as good because my brain's kind of mush after long weekend, long stream, no breakfast. I think that's going to be the case. Yeah, I think I really like the idea of third spell Pierce over as a charm, chart a course over strategic planning, potentially take another look at the sideboard. Thought Elo would have Mr. Blue Sky. I don't know what the reference is there. Oh, they own their own Shredder. All right, Jegantha's got to hold down the fort here. Renin 6 would be the most impactful since they can pay off like Omnath is the underlying issue. Yeah, I think that banning Renin 6, if you were going to ban something, makes the most sense to me. Where Rin is the most powerful card, and you know, I think if you're having a hard time figuring out what to ban, if anything, you know, it's hard to go wrong with just banning the best card. Trina, thank you for the 10 months. Appreciate you. That being said, we had this exact conversation earlier. I've had it a bunch today. I'm not necessarily advocating right now for a ban, but I would shed no tears for any of these cards going. And I wanted to make this point just because I think this is an important part of the conversation that's not being had that much. If you guys are talking about it, you know, on Twitter or wherever you like to have these conversations. A lot of people want to ban Yorion. I think Yorion, you know, would be a fine ban logistically for gameplay reasons, but I quietly think a Yorion ban would improve the Omnath deck's overall win percentage, where it would reduce the deck's win percentage against matchups like Murktide, Control, the Fair deck, so it would make them worse against the other non-linear matchups, but they would still be favored in those matchups, and against the non-linear decks, because they're now 60 cards, they get to see their sideboard cards way more often. I think their win percentage goes up against those decks and goes up overall. And the reason why you can't currently build the Omnath deck like that, you can't currently play 60 cards, is because you lose the mirror every single time. But if Yorion is banned, then all of a sudden that's not a factor, and the mirrors are just still the mirrors. Again, I could be wrong that this is what would happen, but this is something I think might happen, and makes me kind of concerned for just a Yorion ban. So I'm of the opinion that if you're gonna ban, we're gonna win this game. If you're gonna ban Yorion, you also probably have to ban Renin 6. Granger, thank you for the gifted sub, and Trit, thank you for the 10 months. Again, really hard to like accurately predict these kind of things, but this is something I think might happen. Yeah, people keep saying Renin 6 is a double Masters. They also they printed Splinter Twin in Modern Masters 2 and banned it before I think before Splinter Twin hit shelves, or like right afterwards. Like that is not. I don't think that's something that really matters. Granger, thank you for the 2 months. Appreciate you. It's cool to see you standing, but look like more anxious. I only look more anxious right now because I've been live for 6.5 hours and I had like a really busy weekend. So I'm just running on fumes. It's not the standing. I'm actually more focused now because I'm standing. Don't think so. The synergies of Yorion on that's so insane. Breaks the value game plan completely. Yeah, the thing is though, also obviously I think Yorion's matchups become like a lot more even overall. But like Yorion is, I think, still going to be very favored in the matchups it's already favored in. Murktide, Control, Hammer Time. I think it's still a favorite in all those matchups by a decent amount, and I think it also just gets better in its bad matchups too. I could be wrong. Again, like banning like the Yorion ban is like that's really hard. This is a really hard thing for me to predict. This is not something that I'm telling you is going to for sure happen if there is a Yorion ban. This is just something that I suspect might happen. Omnath needs to go. Card. Yeah. Omnath is like the argument that Omnath stabilizes so well. I think is a really good argument. Like I think that if you banned Omnath, like or the Omnath deck would have like a nearly unwinnable burn matchup. At least game one, you can like make Eldarmy's call for like Core Firewalker or something. Okay, just an island on the top. I can't really attack because they have the double block with the Shredder. I could play this for Hull, but I kind of maybe think it's better to bluff. Although I guess against the Go Blink deck, I should just play my lands. Why do you need bans? Because modern players want to complain if we don't get one every 6 months. I mean, that's I feel like a very reductive take. It's maybe a fine take to have too. I think that it's kind of hard to pretend though, like the 4-color Omnath deck being the top deck makes gameplay generally worse, especially in paper where it is just like miserable to play with and against. But like the shuffling and 80 card deck is very bad logistically. I think it's kind of hard to argue that like gameplay is like not that good with Omnath being the best deck. I think I actually just killed a Shredder. Present lethal in the air. We actually won this game? I can't believe we won this game. That's crazy. Oh man. Okay, I think I'm gonna resubmit. The gameplay power isn't bad. Yeah, I mean, the taking forever, I think, is also like bad gameplay, especially with paper tournaments coming back. That's largely what I mean. But also like modern players are gonna complain no matter what. Magic players are gonna complain no matter what. It is what it is. Hey, Tashi, how's it going? Yeah, more Twitch chat debates. Dude, my opponent missed their second land. It's kind of crazy. They should just unban Twin. Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna say, would not put a land in the yard. So I'll cast the Opt first. Here I think I discard Sprite Dragon. Oh, man, second cruise is very tempting. I think I can keep it. Like the active Shredder just like is so good with the cruise. Should have seen the NRG chat as wild. Maybe I'm thankful I didn't. Does nerfing 4-color make any deck significantly better? Yeah, it actually makes Murktide significantly better. But like, I mean, the reality is like, I think that just a slight nerf to 4-color Omnath is a pretty good move. Where like the deck is going to stay like legal and powerful no matter basically no matter like what single card you remove. And so like, and also like modern is still generally pretty good, and there is counterplay to 4-color Omnath. The sky is not falling. Things are fine. Brocco, thank you for the $10. Got deck tech. Things are fine. They could be better, but things I think are fine. Eldrazi coffers with persist for value, backup reanimation plan. Okay. Okay, so I kind of feel like if you're going to play Eldrazi Temple, in your mono black deck, I don't know if you want to play Smasher and Thought Seer or just... I kind of like the idea of like just playing one Eldrazi Temple and then 4 Thought Seers and 0 Smashers. And then you have a lot of tutor targets for your... I think I need a threat. Yeah, but you're going to have a lot of tutor targets for your 1 of Temple on your Thought Seer draws. And then I guess you're going to be kind of light on other colorless lands. You can still do the Prismatic Vista Swamp thing, what you're doing. It's fine. I'm not sure. I think this is probably a fine way to build it, although I think that... Oh wait, you don't have any... You need to play at least 1 Unmarked Grave as a profane tutor target, but I would recommend playing like playing the full 4 Unmarked Grave and really maximizing those nut draws. Like your persists are going to be, I think, pretty bad if you don't play the full 4 Unmarked Grave. Need to find a Fry, although if I have to spell Pierce back here, a Fry might not be good enough. Yeah, Bone Shards is also like people. I really dislike this attitude of I'm going to play Bone Shards in my Reanimator deck when this list has 4 cards that are good to discard, and the whole deck you have 4 cards that are good to discard. Like you don't really want to be persisting Thought Seer or Reality Smasher, and like when you only have 4 cards in the whole deck that like to be discarded. Most of the time, your Bone Shards are going to be a 1 mana 2-for-1 yourself card disadvantage spell. You know, I really dislike that strategy. You can maybe play 1 copy, like cut the Voidwalker, play 1 Bone Shards as a tutor target, but I would probably still prefer not to. Beyond that, I think I would try to have the sideboard be pretty close to, like, I don't know if you've seen my mono black transformative sideboard, but I would want to like do something close to that. Like Liliana is definitely 4 Invoke Despair in the sideboard. I don't like the Fulminated Mage that much, but sideboard plans take a while to flesh out in this archetype anyways. Okay. I guess maybe I shouldn't have responded to this. I don't have too many cards that actually counter it. It's got no cards in their hand, though, and I've got a Hall of the Storm Giants. Just 2 random cards. I don't think it really matters. Yeah, they've got no cards. They're at exactly 14. I've got a Hall of the Storm Giants. Dude, Hall just hits so freaking hard. Why do I suggest cutting the Smashers? I think Smashers pretty weak overall. Like, it's just really bad against the Holy Heat, Solitude. Your deck's, like, not that good at presenting, like, a cohesive beatdown game plan. Alright, post in the chat real quick, Paulie, because I think the stream's coming to an end in a second. We can take a look. So on the Chump Block with Shredder game plan. Green Black Karth Super Friends. I mean, this is an archetype we've worked on a little bit in the past. I will say this, like, some people have attitudes, like, when I'm playing a Karth the Lion deck, this is going to give me an excuse to play cards like Sorin the Mirthless, Obnixilis Reunited, Nissa Vital Force, Liliana Dreadhorde General. All cards that are underpowered in this format, and cards that, like, you're not, like, even, like, very incentivized to play, and just generally kind of weak. But they're like, you know what, I'm playing Karth, I get to play these cards. But, you know, Karth is a really powerful card, and I think I would much rather see you, like, cut these Planeswalkers that are even in a Karth deck, too inefficient, not powerful enough. And I'd really like to see you play, like, 4 Grist, 4 Liliana of the Veil. Both cards are, like, really, really sick with Ob, and, like, you'd like to, like, replace them and get multiple activations out. Okay, I don't have another card in the yard for the Dispute. I thought it was fine to tap my opponent out here. Next turn, maybe I can crew the Hearse, have 2 lethal attackers. Yeah, I don't have Fiery Impulse, or sorry, Spell Mastery. Yeah, I don't have lethal, chat. I don't have lethal. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 cards. You can play Vraska. You can play 4 Grist, 4 Liliana. And then... I may like to see, like... I also may like to see you go, like, cut the Abundant Harvest, cut the Explorers, and play 4 Thoughtseize in the main deck. A bit more interaction. I think Explorer doesn't seem very good to me here. Oh, you're not playing Utopia Sprawl? Yeah, you need to play 4 Utopia Sprawls. Utopia Sprawl is great in this deck as like Boreal Grazer, an accelerant that doesn't get interacted with. So maybe like cut the Harvest, the Bloodchief's Thirst, the Explorers. You have 1 extra slot here, and so you can play 4 Utopia Sprawls, 3 Thoughtseize main, 1 Thoughtseize side. Obviously adjusting the mana a little bit. Oh no, what happened here? Oh no. Okay, we do get to flip the Delver. Oh, did I forget to... Oh no, did I not Hearse end of turn? I maybe didn't Hearse end of turn. This is -8. Like, making them chump block with both probably would put me in a better position here. Current sideboard seems good. I think Flusterstorm is probably a good sideboard card to splash for. Your Cascade matchups are probably pretty rough. I would probably play 4th Veil over the first round, though. So seeing Zaggoth Charm in the mana base. Yeah, I didn't look super duper close at the mana base. I'm like, once you add Utopia Sprawl, it changes a little bit, but maybe you should even be playing like just Shocklands to support it. I think it'd be fine. Whatever, play Modern Scales. I've played Scales on stream a couple times. Yeah, but I do really like the Flusterstorms in the sideboard there. I think that's a good card to be splashing for. I have nearly a 7-hour stream today. Fatal pushes the Delver token. Draw 7. If your library has no cards in it, you win the game. It's a pretty good line of text. I think we got there, unless they have exactly Fatal Push, because I can't... Yeah, I guess I can't Lofty Denial a push. I have the same amount of viewers as NRG. NRG is live right now? I guess I was wondering why I was dipping and then viewers a little bit. So it was just my brain falling apart, being less interesting. Okay, 8-2 on the day with Delver. My brain's on fire. I'm really tired. I'm going to call it here. I like the deck. I recommend playing 3rd Spell Pierce over Izzet Charm and 2 Chart of Course over Strategic Planning. Trying to maybe find room for 3rd Fry in the sideboard. Maybe not. Maybe 3rd Hearse for the Phoenix matchup. Because that matchup definitely seems kind of dicey. Who to rate today?